From July 1st to July 14th, Hunting Company is having its first ever mystery box sale. This sale is gonna include some of my favorite items packed specifically in a box just for you. There's two types of boxes. The first one is the apparel box, things from sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, just like this one, into a box. All of this is over $150 worth of stuff, priced at just $100. The second box is accessories, personally my favorite. We got things from lanyards, we got things from stickers, we got things all the way to jet tags to maybe even windshield banners. Over $100 worth of stuff, priced at just 50 bucks. I'm gonna be packing all these boxes till July 14th, so be sure to get your orders down below because it all goes live right now on the website. It's live. Go click the link. Super uneventful start to this morning. As you can tell, we are here at MagnaFlow. We have the opportunity to use their dyno, so we're gonna use this to get the last tuning session with the S14. We just got the car on the dyno. I have Jimmy ready to hop on the computer so we can start tuning. I went in the trailer to grab something. I noticed there was like a pool of oil on the ground. I didn't know if it was from the 370 prior, because on the last shift event, we really like beat the car up and it was dripping fluids everywhere. The oil was fresh, came underneath the S14, and I noticed on the bottom of the subframe, it was like literally dropping oil. We've never had any leaks from this car, not once. We're gonna try and get this thing on a lift or get a jack and try and look under the car and see if it's something we can fix right away so we can continue our day. This is not how we want to start a dyno day. Yeah, that's not water. That's water from the AC, and that's oil. I'm so shocked right now. We've never had an issue with this car. Shout out to Jimmy Oakes for being very understanding. Jimmy's been tuning this thing for me every opportunity he can. Usually I have my buddy Danny to my cars, but Jimmy and I have always talked about doing a car together. And I know Jimmy's a very busy guy, just like I am, so shout out to you, Jimmy, for taking your time and helping us with this car. All right, it sounds like we're gonna get this thing on a lift and see what's going on. 100%, that's VR1. VR1's blue oil. That's a considerable amount. Like, that's just sitting, so I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know where it's coming from, but a lot. Okay, so it's coolant.
The fucking line right here, dog.
You got pierced by what?
The frame, you see how it's resting on that corner? Like it's resting on the motor mount?
No, okay, it's coming from farther than that, so I can see it coming from up top.
Yeah, it actually might be in your engine bay over here.
No, it's dripping onto the oil return because you can see the heater core line up top that's dripping from that. I can see it. There is a coolant return line that we have that's been dripping. We just have never caught it, and we're able to skid an 18 on there without having to remove anything from the turbo. And with one little push on the wrench, we're able to get a lot of movement out of it. So hopefully we can just tighten this thing up, wipe the underside of the car, turn the car on, and if we can get the leaking to stop and confirm that that was it, close this up, go back to the dyno, and go back to today's regular programming. But shout out to MagnaFlow for having the lifts available. And although we have our trailer with our own tools, they have some cart side tools here that make the process go a little bit faster. When something like today, time is what we're running against. So trying to work as efficient as possible. Without their help, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you, MagnaFlow. We appreciate you, baby. We just turned the car on. From the immediate check, we did not see anything leaking. We're gonna go ahead, put the car up, do one more visual check, and if all is good, we'll go back to the dyno. Okay, looks good. Let's lower it, get back to the dyno. Glad it was something super easy. I love it when it works out like that.
That's demonetized, bro.
You eating tuna?
I'm eating a tuna sandwich. Hey! Whoa! I can't put that in there. Can't put that. Again!
Yeah,
Stop looking!
Bro, I can see him. Look at what he's acting like he's checking the. Yeah, I need to make sure that lip's good, bro. Everything seems to be good now. We're gonna continue with strapping this thing down, see what other issues we may or may not run into today.
Let's just get the car going and see what we may or may not run into today.
Before we start tuning with Jimmy, MagnaFlow is giving me the quick little rundown on how to use this dyno. As you guys know, I've never operated a dyno before. Well, I'm not really operating. I've never been the one driving the car during the tuning session. So Rich was kind of just giving us the breakdown on how to use the dyno brakes. Never touch your car brakes, never touch your e-brake. We don't want to do a pull. We will take off the roller brakes, do a pull, clutch in, hit the brakes. Just basic stuff to learn how to use, nothing too complicated, but they want me to just be comfortable before they leave me alone with me and Jimmy to do our thing. So Jimmy's actually plugged in right now. He's on the computer looking over some stuff, and I'm excited. I've never actually got to be in like the driver's seat of the dyno operating it, so it's cool to be like one step closer, playing pretend tuner while Jimmy does all the button pushing and stuff. So I'm really excited. Hopefully we get some good results today. Hopefully no more problems. Please, S14, no more problems. Right now, Jimmy is just getting used to this dyno. We're on a momentum dyno, so we're using like rollers. The car is sitting on actual like rolling, like, because it's an all-wheel drive dyno, there's a little bit of drag that comes with it. We're doing pulls in fourth gear, and we're finding that in fourth gear, we're just like going through the RPM range so slow for so much load. So Jimmy's just taking some analysis from the past two pulls that we've done, make some corrections, and we're gonna try it in third gear and see if the load is a little bit better for the car to try to start getting some better numbers to kind of make some data changes for the car. We just did our last pass and we only made 161 horsepower on the dyno, and we're getting that manifold glowing hot at the end of every pull, which shouldn't be happening. So we're actually thinking that, or Tristan Jimmy's thinking that the ignition keeps walking. We thought maybe it could be the cam angle sensor is rotating, and it's not. So we're gonna kind of resort back a couple steps, and we're gonna go back to the timing light. So MagnaFlow doesn't have any timing lights on hand, so we're gonna make a little road trip to AutoZone, and we're gonna pick up a timing light, start with timing, make sure it's where it needs to be, make sure it's not retarded, because that's what we think it could be right now. And then from there, we'll go back to the dyno. And that's just the thing, dyno days, at least for me, they've never been smooth. Think of like a dyno day as like, you know, the one time you're really ironing out all the kinks of a car. And it oftentimes brings up little mishaps, little bugs in the car that you need to fix out. So can't let it dishearten us that it's not a quick and easy day. We're getting there. So we'll pick this up. Luckily, it's literally 5 minutes down the road. We'll get back to it. The boys. Thank you. It's at 0, or if you want to be like really precise, it's like negative 0.05. Hey, Cal, I need you to like give me some slow revs like this, like, ooh. Ow, I just got fucking shocked. Stop. Ow, fuck my ass. I was holding the spring. Ow, I just got fucking shocked. The spring's like falling out of the coil, so I went to grab the spring and, well, yeah, we need to tape it or some shit. Turn the car off. Fuck me, dude. I hate getting shocked. I just felt like Pikachu just grabbed my nipples, dude. So Jimmy, right now, we're at like 7 or 8. Yeah, it stays, it's locked. So Jimmy just told me over the phone, that's what I've been doing this whole time, that we were actually close to 10 degrees off on timing. So It explains why we were having so much issue with load. It wasn't the dyno, it was the car. Okay, now that the timing is fixed, we're gonna go back in. I don't wanna say start from square one, but we're gonna kind of restart and try to develop some better numbers, and hopefully the car reacts better. All right, I'm at 4th gear at 2,500. I'll go when you tell me to. Okay, 3rd gear, here we go. That read 212, so we jumped about 10 horsepower. I want to preface to all of you guys that this is a heartbreaker dyno. It almost reads like 60 to 70 horsepower under what it actually will be. It's because we're on an all-wheel dyno. We're moving 2 rollers. So it reads really low, but it gives us really consistent numbers, which gives us accurate data. So Jimmy and I are still at 10 pounds of boost. Right now, I guess in real life, we're probably making close to like 260, 270. It's reading about 210 right now, 212. We're just taking some fuel out, getting our maps looking clean before we start increasing PSI and creating a little bit more boost. But dude, the motor's holding up, nothing's exploding yet. It's really exciting to be this involved. I've never been this involved in a tuning session before, and I don't ever not want to be in the driver's seat as we're tuning again. Like, this is really, really fun for me. Say it again. Okay, so that means that we need to check our wastegate routing. Okay, let me just check what our log was. It made, you're pretty good. It made about like 2.5 horsepower more. All right, tell me when. For sure made more boost. For sure. It was like, oh, you want me to go up in the RPMs? Okay. Yeah, finally. So we made 256. Yeah, so that means we're making close to 10 pounds of boost per PSI. We were on 10 PSI at 215. We're now at 256. That's really 50 horsepower more. It's like 12 horsepower per PSI based on this dynograph. Yeah. You just jumped up like 30 horsepower. Yeah, I mean, because based on what we know, we're at 285, we're at like 340-ish, which is like right where we wanted to be. All right, when you're ready. We got stuck at like 6,000 RPM. On the last pull, we were making boost, we turned it up again, and at 16 pounds of boost, we dropped to 0 pounds of boost. So Jimmy was like, sounds to me like you have wastegate line pop off, or you probably had a coupler pop off. Under first glance, didn't see anything. I was like, Jimmy, I don't see it. He's like, dude, this always means it's like a coupler. Looked Another time, looked even harder, saw that the coupler off the intercooler had popped off. Jimmy was right. So we're gonna go ahead, reattach the coupler and put it back on and get back on the dyno. Okay, so we just finished. Jimmy said he's really happy with where we ended off. Our fueling was good. Everything looks super solid. It's good. There was a couple hiccups today here or there, which we knew were gonna come up. There's been a lot of hiccup before even getting to this point, and I can finally confidently say she's done. She needs a new set of brakes and she needs, you know, some other things. But fundamentally, the car is driving. I can drive it to and from work every day. We're gonna unload this from the dyno right now. We are gonna go give it a rip. I wanna go over our numbers really quick, kind of go over what they mean and what we were expecting. So one, if we look at our last pull we did, we ended off at 290 horsepower. We're not showing torque because the connection that we were using to gauge RPM, read RPM, isn't working. Definitely wasn't ideal that we weren't reading RPM because torque is what usually blows up motors. All we have is horsepower. So just going off of this and going off for fueling and other stuff that Jimmy's done, it looks very, very good. So actual, like, pretty usable power band here. It doesn't really, it falls off a little bit at the end, but we're getting like really, really solid pull throughout the whole entire thing. So we're really satisfied with that. We ended at 290. We're running like at 14 to 16 pounds of boost. So relatively low, but from the start, I wanted this car to be around that like 330 to 350. Anything in that range, I was gonna be super happy with, because this isn't supposed to be the highest horsepower, the fastest car I have. It's supposed to be a wicked sounding SR that makes good power and is generally reliable, which is exactly what I feel this setup is. 290 on this dyno based off of what the heartbreaker numbers goes off of. That puts us around that like 340 to 360 give or take horsepower range, which is exactly where we wanted to be, if not just a little bit more. But again, 14, 16 pounds of boost isn't a lot on this at all. Keep in mind, this is just on 91. We haven't even installed our flex fuel kit. So when we go to ethanol, we can even go more than that without risking detonation. So very pleased with these numbers. I'm very pleased. It's so sick. Sounds wicked. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this thing off the dyno, and before putting it on the trailer, we're gonna take it for its official rip up and down the street to see how that feels on the street. All right, it's now tuned. Don't mind that squeaky little front brake. Let's go see how this feels on the street. So excited from the start of when we got this car, to the repainting, to the body pieces, to the motor swap, to all of the interior rebuilding, to the fixing all the little baby problems. The moment has finally come where we get to go for our first actual rip in the car. So very excited. My palms are a little sweaty. Let's go for our first rip. So to recap, this should be about 350 or so horsepower. Could be 340, could be 350. I'm not 100% sure, but around that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I barely got into it and it was like so, oh yeah. It's gonna feel good, boys. Oh, I'm barely, this is only half throttle, just, oh, it feels so good. I could definitely hear that we like need bushings and stuff. The car feels really like kind of bouncy. Oh my God, that front brake. Yeah! Yeah! Oh dude, it's exactly what I wanted. It's quick, it's snappy, it's responsive. It's not dangerous to any degree. It's enough just to jam. Like, it's exactly what we wanted. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! This is like the first car that kind Calvin and I actually like kind of did everything ourselves, I guess, without sourcing outside help. As far as like getting stuff done, I mean, we asked friends for help for certain things, but just like doing the swap by ourselves and figuring out the parts and doing this and that, and it just feels really rewarding. This was like a side project for the past couple like months, but it feels so damn good to finally drive this car. Second to third is, dude, first, second, third is like jamming. And the exhaust note sounds great. Okay, well that pretty much wraps up today's video. Overall, really happy with how everything went. There's still certain things to dial up on the car. We need to obviously fix the brakes. The car still kind of has a really weird like shake at high speeds. Could just be bushings, things of that sort. Again, I want to say a big thank you to Jimmy Oaks for tuning our car and spending so much time on it throughout the past like couple months. I'm gonna put his YouTube channel down below in the description. So if you're into JDM stuff, he's an awesome creator to watch and a good friend of mine, so definitely go check him out and tell him that I sent you. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with future videos, and you can click the bell to turn on post notifications so you get notified every time we upload a new video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, and keep moving forward.